The Valkyrie High Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Jasmine Chen walked through the crystalline doors, her boots echoing against the polished obsidian floor. Behind her, Kevin Martinez carried the data slate containing Earth's formal response to the Valkyrie ultimatum. The 73 species of the Galactic Concordat watched with varying degrees of curiosity and contempt as the two humans approached the central podium. "The human delegation may speak," announced High Chancellor Vor, his 3 eyes gleaming with barely concealed amusement. The insectoid leader had been confident that the upstart species from Southry would capitulate to their demands. After all, humanity had been part of the galactic community for merely 20 standard cycles babies compared to civilizations that had traversed the stars for millennia. Jasmine placed her hands on the podium, her dark eyes scanning the assembled representatives. Kevin stood beside her, his military dress uniform a stark contrast to the exotic armor and biological adaptations of the other species present. "We have reviewed your ultimatum," Jasmine began, her voice steady and clear. "Your demand that humanity surrender 70% of our agricultural worlds, submit to Concordat military oversight, and provide 5 million human workers for your mining operations." She paused, letting the words hang in the air. "We have prepared our response." Vorthok leaned forward, mandibles clicking in satisfaction. "A wise choice, Ambassador. Your species has finally recognized the futility of we refuse." Jasmine interrupted. "All of it. Furthermore, we are formally withdrawing from the Concordat effective immediately. And since you have blockaded our trade routes and positioned war fleets at the edges of our territory, we can only interpret your actions as a declaration of war." The chamber erupted in chaos. Representatives chittered, roared, and broadcast their shock through various biological and technological means. The Valkyrie delegation rose as one, their segmented bodies quivering with rage. "You dare!" Vorthok's voice boomed through amplifiers. "You insignificant primates. Do you have any comprehension of what you've done? The Valkyrie Empire has conquered 400 star systems. Our fleets number in the tens of thousands. We have reduced entire species to servitude." Kevin stepped forward, his jaw set. "We're aware of your military history, Chancellor. We've studied it extensively. That's precisely why we're not backing down." "Your military is a joke," spat General Krickstar of the Valkyrie Warcast. 300 warships against our armada. You'll be crushed within a solar cycle." Jasmine exchanged a glance with Kevin. There was something in her expression, not fear, but something the assembled aliens couldn't quite identify. It might have been pity. "You've made a critical error in your assessment," Jasmine said quietly, her words cutting through the din. "You've studied human civilization during peacetime. You've observed our art, our diplomacy, our trade practices. You've concluded that we're soft, conflict-averse, easily intimidated." She pulled up a holographic display from the data slate. "But you failed to study our history." Images flickered into existence above the podium: ancient battles, mushroom clouds, trenches filled with mud and blood, ships burning in harbors, cities reduced to rubble. "Humanity," Kevin continued, his voice hard as steel, "has been at war with itself for our entire recorded history. We have fought with sticks and stones, with swords and spears, with bullets and bombs, with nuclear fire and biological weapons. We have fought over land, resources, ideology, and sometimes for no good reason at all. We have killed each other in numbers that would make your conquests look like minor skirmishes." More images appeared: the world wars, regional conflicts, civil wars, revolutions. The alien delegates watched in growing horror as the death tolls appeared beside each conflict. Millions, tens of millions. Deaths from a single weapon that could vaporize entire cities. "We achieved nuclear weapons," Jasmine said, "and immediately used them on ourselves. We developed biological agents that could wipe out entire populations. We created artificial intelligence and contemplated giving them control of weapons that could end all life on our planet. And somehow, we survived it all. By the time we reached the stars," Kevin added, "we had learned something. We had evolved beyond our most destructive impulses, or so we thought. We came to the galactic community hoping for peace, for cooperation, for a new chapter in our species' story." His expression hardened. "But we didn't forget how to fight. We just chose not to." Vorthok's confidence was beginning to crack. "You're bluffing. No species could survive such self-destructive tendencies." "That's what makes us dangerous," Jasmine replied. "Every other species in this Concordat achieved space travel through cooperation and unity. You evolved past your aggressive phases before you could destroy yourselves. But humans, we clawed our way to the stars while holding knives to each other's throats. We didn't eliminate our capacity for violence, we just learned to control it. And now you've given us a reason to let it loose again." She pulled up another display, and the aliens gasped. Shipyards across human space were working at capacity. Hundreds of vessels were under construction, not the explorer ships they'd been building, but warships. Designs that incorporated every lesson humanity had learned from millennia of warfare. "Our 300 warships." Kevin smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "That's just what we had for exploration and defense. In the 3 weeks since you delivered your ultimatum, we've laid the keels for 2,000 more. In 6 months we'll have 10,000. In a year, and they won't be like your ship's elegant, efficient, designed for conquest and occupation. Ours are designed for one purpose: to make the other side stop fighting. By any means necessary. You're insane, whispered the Draxi observer, his crystalline form refracting the holographic light. No, Jasmine corrected. We're human, and you've just reminded us why we became the dominant species on a death world. Earth didn't coddle us. It threw predators, diseases, disasters, and ice ages at us. And we survived them all. Then we became the apex predator and started fighting each other for practice. Kevin pulled up one final Imager recruiting poster showing a human soldier standing over a vanquished enemy, with the words, "They wanted a war. Let's give them one they'll never forget." Across human space, he said, 5 billion volunteers signed up for military service in the last week alone. Not because we love war, but because you threatened our homes, our families, our future. You've awakened something in us that we've spent 2 centuries trying to put to sleep. Orthox mandibles trembled. This is madness. No, Jasmine said, gathering her materials. This is humanity. You wanted to see if we would fight. Congratulations, Chancellor. You're about to find out what happens when the most belligerent species in galactic history stops playing nice and remembers what made us terrifying in the first place. She turned to leave, Kevin falling into step beside her. As they walked toward the exit, Jasmine's final words echoed through the chamber. See you on the battlefield. We'll be the ones who refuse to lose. The crystalline doors closed behind them, leaving the Concordat in stunned silence. The war they had so confidently initiated was about to begin, and they were starting to realize they might have picked a fight with the wrong species.